Okay, lying down, any comfortable position. And noticing the sensation of your breath. Taking deep inhales in through your nose, into your diaphragm, and long, slow exhales out. On your exhales, letting go of your week, your morning, any thoughts that don't serve you, or anything else that is lingering, that is standing in your way. So, the theme for our class today is the obstacle is the path. While hindsight is 2020, often the things we perceive to be major hindrances become our greatest teachers. In the moment, though, when obstacles present themselves, our response is often one of frustration or defeat. Remembering that the obstacle really is the path helps us stay true to our heart's calling. So, if you wish, maybe identify some sort of immediate obstacle that's in your life. So something kind of small. And as we go through our class today, perhaps revisiting that obstacle, seeing if maybe your view of it changes. At the start of our day, we often set out to be joyful or to find gratitude. On some days, this comes to fruition. On other days, challenge after challenge presents itself, and maintaining a positive attitude is nearly impossible. The obstacle is always the path. As we move today, look for the ways that challenge tries to throw you off course, whether that's physical challenge or monkey mind thoughts that disrupt your flow. These obstacles are the teacher, they are the lesson. So, making some small movements here in your fingers and toes. Rolling around wrists and ankles. And whenever you're ready, taking a big stretch here. All right, so placing both feet on the earth, feet are um, about hip distance apart, knees are bent. And we're going to start with wind relief pose. So hugging the right knee in towards the chest, activating the right foot. And then if you wish, maybe extending the left leg long and see where it feels good to pull that knee in towards you. Maybe it's towards your chest, maybe it's more towards the right armpit. Softening your shoulders, softening your face. Finding one more round of breath here. And then dropping the right foot to the earth, knee is bent. We'll bring the left knee in towards the chest, activating the left foot. Perhaps the right leg comes long. Allowing the left foot to come to the earth, knee is bent. Okay, we're going to bring the right foot, right foot up towards the sky, activate the right foot. And then perhaps you find some circles here in the ankle. And then maybe they go the opposite direction. Okay, so leg can stay straight, or if you need to, bending the knee. We're going to grab a hold of the right thigh, either the pant leg or the back of the thigh. Right foot stays active and gently pulling the leg towards you. Keeping a slight micro bend in the right knee. And if you wish for a little more of a stretch, perhaps the left leg comes long. Bringing the right foot to the earth with a bent knee. Left foot comes up off the earth, up towards the sky. Again, if you need a bent knee here in the left leg, activating the left foot, gently pulling the leg towards you. Perhaps straightening the right leg. Okay, gently releasing the left foot to the earth. And then slowly rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then making your way up to seated. I laugh because we were having a discussion about getting left and right mixed up and how sometimes it's my fault. Okay, so from seated, we'll just find some organic movements here. So maybe finding some circles in your body. Perhaps you arch the back behind you. Whatever feels good for you in your spine, in your hips. Going in the opposite direction if you haven't already. Okay, and then gently making your way back to center. And then we will find some shoulder rolls. So on your inhale, shoulders roll up toward your ears. And on your exhales, shoulders roll back and down your spine. So this is where we want our shoulders to be back and down anytime our arms are overhead or our hands are on the earth and our hands are underneath the shoulders, or even downward dog. All right, so let's make our way into a tabletop. So just a reminder, in the tabletop or any of our other poses where we're on our knees, if you wish, you can find a blanket to place underneath the knees to give you a little bit of extra padding, or whichever knee is remaining on the earth. If you don't have a thick mat like mine, you can fold it under to place that knee on the earth for extra padding. Okay. So we're going to take a deep inhale while we are here in our tabletop pose. And then exhale, come back into child's pose. On your inhale, come back into tabletop. And then exhale, curl the toes under, come back into downward dog or into your child's pose. So we've done this before. Inhale to tabletop and exhale to come back into child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog or back into child's pose. So continue moving here at your own breath. It's always inhale in table. And a reminder for your hands, when your hands are on the earth, we want to grip our fingers into the earth and kind of cup the hands so that we're not placing a lot of weight into our wrists. So let's go through one more round. And then making your way into a tabletop. Okay, a little more movement here for our spine. Let's find some cat-cow, rounding the spine, tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone. Really push your body away from the earth, arching that upper back. And then moving in the opposite direction, shoulders roll back and down the spine. And just moving here at your own pace, with your own breath. See where it's more comfortable to inhale and where it's more comfortable to exhale. Making your way back into a tabletop pose, and then coming back into child's pose. So coming back into a tabletop pose, gripping your fingers into the earth, slightly cupping your hands, draw the belly button in. We're going to find a little bit of movement here. So take an inhale in your tabletop, and on your exhale, come back into child's pose. Inhale into tabletop. Exhale, curl the toes under, send the hips up and back behind you, downward dog. If downward dog isn't in your practice today, come back into child's pose. So inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop.
Exhale, downward dog. So continue moving at your own pace with your own breath. With every inhale, we're in tabletop. Shoulders roll back and down in your downward dog. And whenever you're ready, gently making your way back into your tabletop. So again, gripping the fingers, we're going to push our body away from the earth so we're not collapsing in on the shoulders. Drawing the belly button in towards the spine. We really want to engage the core here. And from here, curling your toes under and then perhaps lifting your knees up off the earth just an inch. Hold here. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, maybe you pick one foot up off the earth. Maybe the other foot. And then lowering your knees to the earth. Take a child's pose here. Maybe you roll out your wrists. All right, and then making your way back into your tabletop pose. Okay, so with this next movement here, we're going to kick the right leg back, activate the right foot. Again, draw the navel in, push away from the earth. And then kicking the right foot out towards the side, tap the floor. And then come back up, squeeze the right glute. Extend that right leg long. So if you want, you can add a little bit more. As you bring the right foot out to the side, drop down onto the left elbow. And then come back. Squeeze the right glute. All right, so keep going here. And start to notice where you feel it in your body. Maybe you're feeling it in unexpected places. And notice if you want to quit. Maybe you can do just 2 more. Often our minds are ready to quit before our body's ready. All right, so let's do 2 more here. All right, come back into your tabletop. And then we're going to switch over to the other side. All right, so this time, left foot comes out behind you. Activate that left foot. Remember, push away from the floor, grip your fingers. Left foot comes out to the side. Tap the foot on the earth. Maybe you come down onto that right forearm. And then come back, squeeze the left glute. All right, so exhale, tap. Inhale, back together. Keep going. Take a break if you need to. We don't want to feel pain, sharp shooting pain or anything like that. And notice if it's just your mind that wants to quit. Whew. A few more. Okay, 2 more. Whew. Okay, come back to your tabletop. Find your child's pose, roll out the wrists. Okay, and then making your way back into your tabletop pose. And here's what we're going to do for this movement here. Right foot's going to come long behind you, right leg long behind you. Right foot comes parallel to the short edge of your mat. We're going to stack our hips here. And notice what's happening here with the left shoulder. We don't want to collapse in. We want to push away from the earth. Draw the navel in. Right arm reaches up and over. Find length here from the pinky toe edge of your right foot all the way to your fingertips. Feel a stretch. Okay, so maybe you stay here, or maybe you find a little bit more movement here. So we're going to bring the right elbow and the right knee towards each other. Really pull in that side body to try and bring everything together. And then reach out. And together and out. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, instead of placing the right foot on the floor, extend the right leg long behind you for balance. And crunch. Almost there. All right, let's find two more on this side. Let's take that stretch one more time. Right foot to the earth. Right arm reaches forward. All right, let's make our way into a tabletop. And then over to the other side. Left leg comes long, foot to the earth. Stack the hips. Left arm reaches up and over. Roll that top shoulder back and down your spine. Feel length. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, here we go again. Knee and elbow come towards each other. And then come back. Together and away. Option to find that balance. A little more challenge. Notice what's going on in your mind. And then just do two more. Almost there. Two more. Find that stretch one more time. Left foot to the earth. Come back to tabletop. And back into child's pose.
All right, so in our pauses, the physical challenge of our practice is gone. But it's here in this stillness that the mind might recycle old stories or ideas, creating obstacles from within. Notice what your mind is telling you here. Okay, making your way back into your tabletop pose. So we're going to come to seated. So however it feels comfortable for you to come to seated, maybe you cross at the ankles, walk back to come to seated. So let's bring our feet wide to begin, and then windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Okay, so while we are here, we're going to do a few things. You're going to come back up, sitting on your sits bones, that comfortable place to sit. Feet will come out in front. We're going to bring the hands behind us, maybe tenting the fingers on the earth. We're going to find a boat pose. So you're going to go as far as you feel comfortable. You stop whenever you wish to stop or keep going. Okay. So from here, we're going to sit up nice and tall and start with one foot up off the earth. Maybe the other foot follows. Squeeze the inner thighs. Maybe one arm comes up off the earth or both. Arm, hand. Still no coffee. Okay. Sitting up nice and tall. All right. Option here. If you want, extend the legs up towards the sky. All right. Ready? Wherever you are, see if you can slowly come down towards the earth, but don't let the legs or the shoulders touch the earth. Stretch the legs long. And then can you bend your knees, make your way back up? If not, it's okay. Come up however you can. Find your boat pose, squeeze the inner thighs, sitting up nice and tall. Take a break if you need to, but see if you can hold it for 2 more rounds of breath before you do. If you wish, come back down to this low boat, straighten the legs, shoulders hover. Inhale, woo, back up, and exhale to lower. Do you hear my voice shaking? All right, let's take a break. Drop the knees to the earth. Feet come wide, windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Okay, so while we're here, we're going to do a bit of a shoulder stretch. So feet to the earth once again. We're going to bring our hands behind us. Fingers are pointed away. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Okay, and then if it's comfortable for you, just go as far as you feel comfortable. Perhaps you walk the hands back a little further, grip the fingers, keep the chest nice and tall. And if you wish for a little more stretch in the front of the shoulders, maybe you scoot your sits bones down closer to your feet. So remember, we don't want any pain, any burning, just a gentle stretch. So come out a little bit if you need to, or come out all the way. Nice welcome break. All right, let's make our way back into seated. And actually, we're going to come all the way down to the floor. So slowly, if you can, feet are on the earth, one vertebrae at a time, making your way down. All right, we're going to find a moving bridge. So feet come to the earth about hip distance apart. Knees are bent. We're going to push our feet into the earth as we lift our hips, squeeze the inner thigh, squeeze the glutes, and then exhale to lower. Inhale, lift, and exhale to lower. Continue moving here at your own pace. Keep squeezing the inner thighs. And if you wish, as your hips come up off the earth, bring the arms up and back behind you, fingernails to the earth, and exhale to lower. All right, so one more time. We're going to come back to seated. So it's up to you. You can roll over to one side if you wish, or if it's in your body, maybe you grab the backs of your thighs and rock and roll up to seated. Okay, we're going to just kind of move on here. So coming into tabletop. Knees are underneath your hips. And we're going to find a dolphin pose. So in our dolphin pose, forearms come to the earth, elbows are underneath your shoulders. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. And then curling the toes up, sending the hips up and back behind you. And then where you look kind of depends on your body, either looking between your arms or looking back at your toes, as long as your head isn't hitting the earth. So up to you, you can walk your feet in a little bit. If it's in your body, feel a bit of a stretch and feel your core working. So we want to try not to collapse in on the shoulders, push away from the earth. You're pushing into your arms. If you wish for a little bit more challenge, perhaps one leg comes up towards the sky. And then maybe you switch to the other leg. Back into our dolphin pose. And then let's drop our knees to the earth into child's pose. So as we move through the next section of our class, notice what obstacles present themselves as we move through our flow. Does your mind go elsewhere? Is it hard to stay in certain poses? And perhaps you can ask yourself what that challenge is offering you. What can it offer you? All right, here we are. We're going to come back into our tabletop pose. Let's bring the right foot forward between the hands. Come up off the earth with the back knee. What am I trying to say? And then left foot comes forward, forward fold. All right, bringing your hands to your hips, lengthen your spine, come on up with a flat back. Find your mountain pose near the top of your mat. So feet are hip distance apart, squeeze the inner thighs, find a slight tuck of the tailbone, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Ooh. All right, so here we're going to find a stork pose, so a bit of a balancing pose. If you need to find a wall to come into this pose, you certainly can. Okay, Okay, so we're going to shift our weight into our left foot. Right foot comes up off the earth. We're going to activate the right foot. So this is our Stork Pose for the legs. Let's bring the arms up towards the sky, and then we'll find cactus arms here. Draw the navel in, and then turning towards that front leg. Turn towards the right side. The obstacle is the path. Inhale, come back to center, either making your way back to your mat if you came off, or take a big step back here with the right foot. And we're going to turn sideways on the mat. Toes point out towards the top corners of the mat. We're going to sit down into our goddess pose. So knees come over the ankles. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Okay, ready? We're going to find some movement here. If it's comfortable for you or you stay in your goddess, you can always come up into star pose and back into goddess if you need, but try and challenge yourself a little bit today. So we're going to find some movement here. So right elbow is going to come towards the right leg. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, left elbow towards left leg, and inhale back to center. So you're just going to continue moving here. Try and stay nice and low in your goddess pose. Saturdays seem to be challenging, hey? Jeez. Maybe it's just me. So really pull that side in as you come over the side of your torso. Continue. Couple more. All right. Coming back to center, straighten the legs, straighten the arms. Let's turn our feet so they're parallel to the sides of the mat, hands to the hips. Exhale, forward fold. So hands come wherever's comfortable for you. And find your breath. Okay, here we go. We're going to bring our hands to our hips, and we're going to come up with length in spine just halfway. So chest is parallel to the floor. Okay, draw the navel in, and then reach the arms out towards the sides. Squeeze the inner thighs towards center here, nice and strong in the legs. And then if you wish, you're going to find a bit of a twist. The right hand may not touch the earth. So you're going to turn towards the left. Arms are still long. Right hand maybe hovers. Inhale back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Inhaling to center and exhaling to turn. Continue moving at your own pace. Remember, squeeze the inner thighs. Draw the belly button in. So we're trying to turn from the waist here. All right, one more time in each direction. Hands to your hips once again, forward fold. And hands come wherever is comfortable. If it's in your body, perhaps you clasp your hands behind your low back, shoulders roll back and down your spine, extend the arms up high. Releasing your hands here. Hands come to the hips and then come on up with a flat back. All right, let's bring our hands behind the low back, fingers point down, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Slight tuck of the tailbone, squeeze the inner thighs, activate the glutes, and perhaps you open the heart up towards the sky. Coming back to center, and then right foot comes over towards the front of your mat. So again, stork pose, find the wall if you need. Shifting your weight into your right foot. Left foot comes up off the earth, activating the left foot. Finding your cactus arms. Draw the belly button in, and then turning towards the left side. So just the upper body turns, even though the left leg wants to follow. Inhale, come back to center, come off and make your way to your mat, or step back with the left foot, turning sideways. We're going to find our goddess pose once again. Sink the hips down, knees open, slight tuck of the tailbone, cactus arms. Maybe you sink a little further. So again, we're going to find that side crunch. So right elbow comes towards the right knee. Inhale to center and exhale towards the other side. Moving at your own pace. And perhaps double checking your knees as we go through this. Make sure they're still over the ankles. One more time in each direction. And we're going to straighten our legs, straighten the arms, turning the feet so they're parallel to the sides of the mat, hands to your waist, and exhale, forward fold. Again, if it's in your body, clasping your hands behind your low back, but maybe this time find the opposite clasp in your hands. Shoulders roll back and down the spine, extend the arms long. Or maybe hands just stay wherever's comfortable. Releasing your hands down towards the earth. We're going to come halfway up, halfway lift. So if you need to, hands are either on the earth, on a block, or if you wish to be a little higher, you can bring your hands to your thighs. We're going to find a twist. So if your hands are on the earth or on a block, left hand to the earth, right hand up towards the sky. If your hands are on your thighs, left hand to right leg. We're going to do both sides, so it doesn't matter. Right hand up towards the sky. Find length in the spine. And then exhale, right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Left hand comes down. Let's bring the hands to the waist with length in the spine, coming up with a flat back. Squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes, hands come behind your low back, opening your heart. Release here. We're going to come back towards the front of the mat. All right. Finding mountain pose. Inhale, arms come up towards the sky, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Exhale, sit your hips back, coming into chair pose. So slight tuck of the tailbone, heart opens up towards the sky or towards the wall in front of you. Okay, we're going to come down to seated. So you can make your way down to seated in a different way if you want, or you can follow me. Slowly sitting the hips down. We're going to reach the arms out in front as we come down. And then perhaps you can slowly, without touching the floor, come to seated. All right, let's come onto our front body. So onto the earth. All right, we did all this stuff for our core. We're going to do a little bit here for our back and stretching out the core. So let's find baby cobra. Tops of the feet come down to the earth, shoulders roll back and down the spine, hands come by your sides. Slowly lifting your heart up off the earth, tuck the elbows in. May have already said that, can't remember. Find your breath and still look down at the earth. And exhale to lower. Okay, we're going to find Sphinx pose. So forearms to the earth, like in our dolphin, elbows underneath the shoulders, shoulders roll back and down the spine, tops of the feet push down. And we're going to pull our arms towards us. So kind of energetically, arms pull towards you, chest comes through. If you need to, you can stay in the baby cobra. And exhale to lower. If at any point as we're going through these movements, if your low back is talking to you, maybe you bend your knees and windshield wiper your feet from side to side. If you're ready to keep going, coming back into a back bend. Maybe if it's in your body, Cobra pose, hands come by your chest, shoulders roll back and down, tuck the elbows, tops of the feet push down, lift. So we want to keep a slight micro bend in the elbows, and we don't want the shoulders up by the ears. Rolled back and down is where we want them. That's why we do those shoulder rolls at the beginning of our practice to remind us where they need to be. Grip the fingers into the mat. And exhale to lower. Maybe you bend the knees, windshield wiper your feet. Okay, locust pose. Feet come down to the earth. We're going to bring our hands back by our sides. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Okay, so lifting the shoulders up off the earth, look down at the earth. So you go as far as you feel comfortable. Perhaps you lift the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. If it's in your body, you may even clasp your hands, shoulders roll back and down, stretch the arms away. Okay. And then squeeze the inner thigh, squeeze the glutes, lift the feet. Exhale to lower. Bending your knees, windshield wipering your feet. Okay, we're going to come into a half bow. The other half is locust. Okay. So let's start here. We're going to bring the left forearm to the earth so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. So this will start so you can kind of come up a little bit. So we're going to bend the right knee. Right hand reaches back behind you. See if you can find the ankle or the foot. Okay, activate the right foot. Send the foot up towards the sky. So maybe you stay here, or maybe left arm comes long, left leg comes long. Allowing them to hover off the earth. And exhale to lower. We'll come over to the other side. Right forearm comes parallel to the short edge of the mat. Bending the left knee, reaching back for the left ankle or foot. Activate the left foot. Sending the foot up towards the sky. And then maybe find that half locust on the other side. Squeeze the inner thighs. Look down at the earth. And exhale to lower. All right. Bending the knees, windshield wipering the feet from side to side. Almost there. Okay, we're going to find a variation of a locust pose. Our not yoga named pose, Superman. Okay, so legs are going to come down to the earth. We're going to bring our arms out in front of us. Look down at the earth. Okay, palms face towards each other. And then you're going to bring the arms by your ears, lift your heart. Maybe you stay here, maybe you lift the feet, squeeze the inner thighs, point the toes. Okay, ready? You can drop your feet at any point if you need to. We're going to take our hands, our arms, we're going to bring them back like we do in cactus arms, but squeeze the shoulder blades together. Reach forward, squeeze back. Reach forward, keep going, squeeze back. Two more. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Whew, exhale, lower, bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet. All right, hard work's done. Yay. Okay, you're gonna make your way over onto your back. Whew, okay. Let's find a happy baby. Feet come up towards the sky. Feet are active. Grabbing a hold of the backs of the thighs, maybe the shins or calves. Perhaps you grab your feet. Maybe it's the big toes with your peace fingers, whatever feels right. So find whatever feels good for you here. Maybe you rock. Maybe you extend one leg and then the other. All right. Let's drop the feet to the earth. Knees are bent. Bringing the right ankle over the left thigh. Activate the right foot. Drawing the legs in closer towards you. And then grabbing hold of the left leg somewhere. Maybe it's just the pant leg. Maybe it's around the shin. Softening your shoulders. Softening your jaw. And if you wish for a little bit more, you have two options depending on your body. Perhaps the right elbow pushes into the right thigh to send it forward. All of us have different arm lengths and leg lengths, so sometimes we can't reach that. So maybe the right hand comes to the right thigh and pushes it forward. Keep the right foot active. Relax the shoulders. Deep inhales, long, slow exhales. Slowly allowing the left foot to come down to the earth. And then changing the cross of the legs, left ankle over right thigh, activate the foot. Drawing the legs in closer towards you. Find the right leg. And again, option to somehow push that left leg away from you a little further. Allowing the shoulders to sink down towards the earth. No, there goes my dog. Sorry. Oh dear. Exhale, releasing the legs. All right, feet come down to the earth. Let's find a twist. So I actually invite you to find whatever twist feels the best for you in your body. A gentle twist here would be arms out to the side, T-shape or cactus arms, depending on your space and what feels good for you. So we push into the feet, pick up the hips, lift them to the right, and allow the knees to drop to the left. And then perhaps looking over towards the right side. So it doesn't matter which side you come in on your twist. If you're doing a different twist, we'll find both sides. Finding your breath. With every exhale, perhaps you sink and settle in towards the earth just a little bit more. And on your next inhale, allowing your knees to come back to center, repositioning your back flat on the earth. Finding your variation of a twist on the other side, or if you're following me, push the feet into the earth, hips shift over and come down to the left side, knees drop to the right. Maybe you look to the left and soften. Gently bringing your knees back to center, repositioning your back flat on the earth. Okay, and let's come into a recline butterfly. So feet come together, activate the feet, allow the knees to come apart, and then softening the feet. So it's up to you here. If you have any props around you, blocks, pillows, blankets, you can place them underneath the knees if you need, or maybe where the thigh and the hip meet each other. Or if you wish for a little less of a stretch, but don't have props, maybe you walk the feet away from you a little further, making the diamond shape in your legs a little bit bigger. Deep inhales, long, slow exhales. And while you're here, if it's comfortable for you, maybe placing your right hand on your heart, left hand on your belly button, and feel your breath. Where do you feel your breath in your body? Taking deep inhales, long, slow exhales. If your arms aren't comfortable here, feel free to bring them back down by your sides. If your arms are still here on your body, your hands, see if you can notice the sensation of your heartbeat underneath your hand. Feeling your breath. And then taking a moment to find self-compassion. No matter what happened during our class today, the two most important things you did were show up and breathe. Everything else was practice, exploration. Being kind and compassionate with yourself and not judging yourself. So you can stay in this shape on the earth or come into Shavasana, whatever your body is asking for, or any other final resting pose. On your exhales, releasing any tension. Releasing any thoughts about your practice, any thoughts that have to do with anything outside of our practice. And take this opportunity to rest. As you move off your mat today, bring with you the resilience of this practice. Bring with you the memory of overcoming, sustaining, and continuing forward despite what arises. Bringing some small movements into your body. Perhaps rolling around wrists and ankles. Maybe those smaller movements become bigger movements. Gently rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. Making your way up to seated. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. Taking deep inhales in through your nose, into your diaphragm, and long, slow exhales out. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. That light is a place of peace, love, kindness, and compassion. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, there is no difference and no distance between us. Together, we are the same. We are one. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful day.